The next day, Lucas didn't go to work because of the conference dinner party. After the morning routine, they sat in the living room seeing a movie together. Ugoma was sitting beside him with her legs on his laps and he was busy giving her a foot massage. All of a sudden, the doorbell rang. Who could that be? He asked. That's not my security, because after ringing the doorbell, he will walk in almost immediately. And come to think of it, how dare him open my gate for anybody without my consent? He looked at his wife and she was fast asleep as someone who had been going to Jerusalem frequently on the couch with her legs still on his lap. Lucas ignored the doorbell, took his wife into the bedroom before coming to the door. When he opened the door, lo, it was Linda, his secretary. Good morning, sir, she greeted. And Lucas responded, Yes. So what are you doing in my house by this time of the day? Shouldn't you be at the office? The anger in his voice wasn't hidden at all. Sir, I came to see if you're fully prepared for the conference dinner party. And Lucas started wondering what she was driving at. He looked at her from head to toe. She was wearing a very skimpy dress. So how is that your business? Or is it 3 o'clock? No, sir. It is not yet time for the conference, she shuddered. Okay. Madam, so what's the time on your wristwatch? It is just 11 o'clock, sir. Then, what exactly are you doing in my house by this time of the day? And wait, did you wear this nonsense to work today? This question was fired in anger and she moved backwards in fear. Sir, Linda was about saying something when Lucas cut her off. Linda, he called, get out of my house this minute. And one more thing, if you repeat this rubbish next time, consider yourself fired. Linda's eyes widened in shock. She began to find her boss, who was a playboy, but couldn't find him. So she said, Yes, sir. It wouldn't repeat itself again, and ran out. Nonsense! I wonder why some girls don't keep their white legs at a place. He closed his door and continued with his moving. Linda, on her way back to the office, was still in shock. She said, I thought he was kidding when he said he was going to the conference dinner party with his so-called wife. I took time in fixing myself up today because I thought I would go with him. But I guess I was wrong in capital letters. All my efforts in looking good wasted. I better hurry to the office because the man I saw is no longer my former boss. Something new has emerged and it will be very hot for me if I don't finish the work he gave me. She boarded a taxi and soon she got to the office. When she entered, everyone kept looking at her disgustingly and she wondered why. Thank God she was truthful to herself by saying, You are a company secretary and should dress well and not like those hawking their bodies. Soon, she started hearing some of the workers talking. Look at what she's wearing. How can someone with number 6 dress like this to work? Oh, she thinks she can continue deceiving and doing nonsense with our boss. Yeah, our boss is now married and he has left her behind. These words were direct arrows. She felt so ashamed, stood up and shut her door. Lucas on his part was not enjoying the movie because his baby girl was not with him. He kept looking at the wall clock to see if it was already time for the conference dinner party, but the time was just too slow. He called a makeup artist and a hairstylist and couldn't just wait to see how beautiful Ugoma will look together with the beautiful dress he got. Few hours later, they both came together and Ugoma was awake. They started work and Lucas got dressed and sat down waiting patiently for them to finish. After a little while, they were done. Ugoma was looking ravishingly beautiful. The dress hugged around her body, the makeup, lights, and the hair. Mwah. She wore a heel and a matching handbag. Lucas had gone very far just beholding her beauty. Ugoma had to snap him back to reality. He smiled and said, "What? My jewel, you are looking so sweet." He quickly paid the makeup artist and the hairstylist and said, "Ugoma, shall we?" "Yes, we shall," she replied. Lucas locked his hand with hers and they walked out of the house to the garage. He treated her like a queen, opened the door, gathered her dress, then closed the door. He got into the driver's seat, looked at her again, and said, "What?" dramatically holding his head. He said, "I need to drive fast so we can meet the red carpet because I want this paparazzi all over the internet to pepper your enemies." They soon got to the venue. The ladies wearing all type of beautiful dresses and the men wearing expensive suits walking down the red carpet. Ugoma was nervous as hell. All her life, she hadn't left the village, and here she is, seeing men of timber and caliber. Lucas asked, "Are you nervous?" Because her hand gave him a little squeeze. And she said, "Not just nervous, I want to pee on my body." "Come on now, Jewel. You don't have to feel nervous. You are with me, okay?" She smiled and asked, "But what are we still doing in the car?" And Lucas replied, "They are calling the top celebrities by name. So, until our names are called, we won't come out." "But people are out there waiting for their names to be called," Ugoma asked, raising her eyebrows. "Yes, people, and not us. I don't want anyone to see you until our names are being called." "Okay," Ugoma said, sitting quietly and feeding her eyes through the tinted glass. She saw her husband's 3 friends and their partners, but Toby wasn't there. She got distracted by giving into deep thoughts on how she got to that level. Soon, the name Mr. and Mrs. Lucas Okafor was called. "Are you ready?" Lucas asked. "Yes, I am." He gave her a passionate kiss before stepping down from the car. He said, "You need that." Her palm was sweating badly. Lucas opened the door for her, locked his hand with hers as they stepped on the red carpet. Camera lights kept flashing on them, and Ugoma was giving them smiles and winks back to back. As they were about going inside the hall, a lady walked up to them and said, "Sorry to disturb you, Mr. and Mrs. Lucas Okafor. I am Vera, and I work with the couple's magazine." "Okay," Ugoma said politely, while her cute husband just nodded. Vera continued, "I must say you two are the most beautifully dressed couple, so I would like to take a picture of you two for our magazine cover and big board. That's if you don't mind." The two lovebirds communicated with signs, and Lucas replied, "That's fine." Vera called the photographer, and the photographer asked, "Are you ready?" "Yes, we are," they both replied. "Please, I want a very romantic shot. Just 2 anyways." Lucas nodded, but Ugoma was confused because she hadn't heard about this before. And just in the twinkle of an eye, Lucas, who had been in the game, placed his leg on hers, making her to lose balance. But he caught her and placed his lips on hers. Ugoma shut her eyes and placed her hands on his chest just to gain balance. Immediately, she felt a flash of the camera. That was a perfect shot. The lady said, "This is so lovely. Just one more and I promise to release you guys." Lucas was more than ready. As long as Ugoma, his wife, was involved, he brought another fantastic pose. The lady appreciated him with a handshake. They got inside and Lucas took her to the VIP section where his friends and partners were. "Hey man," he said to his friends, and they engaged in friendly hugs. "Hello everyone," Ugoma greeted with a smile, and they replied. The ladies started talking since the men were busy. They all introduced themselves with high profiles. Ugoma simply introduced herself as Lucas's wife, as there was nothing to attach to her name. Lucas became uncomfortable. He wants to sit with his wife. He made Ugoma to sit on his lap. She was damn shy. She said within herself, "Hey, this man doesn't know I'm a village girl." Lucas noticed she was shy and he said to her, "You are not stealing anything and you are not sinning against God. You are mine and I am yours, so balance well." They started sharing food and Lucas gave her a tax to feed him. Wahala. At this time, I don't even know what to do to this Lucas. Two old men started walking towards the direction with two young ladies with them. Ugoma didn't pay much attention because she was busy feeding her husband while still sitting on his laps. They soon got to their table after greeting Lucas's friends. "Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Lucas Okafor. We can see you guys are enjoying yourselves. Love bears." Lucas kept a straight face, and Ugoma was forced to look to know why her husband isn't smiling, and her mouth dropped at what she saw. When Simi introduced Chidera to the zaddy that was taking her to the party, she got really angry because saying he is old is a misinterpretation, because the right word is he is her grandfather or ancestor. But she couldn't complain since the man said he was going to pay 700,000 naira, and that she had never seen in her entire life. They got into the hall as their names were mentioned, same with Simi and her partner. Since Simi and Chidera's ancestors, I mean partners, are friends, they decided to go greet important personalities in the hall, and the two young ladies must go with them. I mean, it's part of what they are being paid for. They greeted a lot of people, and they were all young boys. Chidera felt ashamed seeing her age mates looking all hot with men their age or at most 5 years age difference. When they got to the last table, she nearly passed out at what she saw. It was Lucas carrying a beautiful lady on his laps. "So Ugoma doesn't even go out with him?" she asks. "What a shame. I knew it now. She is a village girl and can't fit in here in any way." She felt so bad to be in such a gathering with her grandfather. "Oh, Lucas will see me as a prostitute, and this has reduced my stance with him by 0.1%. She greeted, and Lucas looked at her disgustedly. It was the straight face Ugoma saw that made her turn. "Hey, what a surprised package." Chidera was shocked to her bone marrows. "So it is Ugoma," and immediately she started fuming in anger. "Why must she have all the good things? Eh? I think it is now time for me to eliminate this girl out from the surface of the earth. Now, the problem is, how will I achieve this?" Lucas on his part has seen them long time ago, and that's the only reason he made Ugoma sit on his laps and feed him. He greeted Senator Bello and his friend and said, "Meet my decent, lovely wife, Ugoma." "Oh, I see," the senator replied. Lucas was not satisfied. He said, "I really need to make these girls go home, look for sleep, and never find it because of our matter." So he quickly kissed his wife on her lips. "Wow," Senator Bello exclaimed. "Your wife is so beautiful, and I don't blame you at all." "Well, my wife owns a modeling company and I would love to invite you." Lucas thought he has an A1 in shooting trouble, but Ugoma surprised him by asking the senator, "You mean the young lady beside you or the one beside the other senator?" This threw Lucas off guard and he laughed out hilariously. Ugoma didn't stop there. She asked, "What's funny, babe?" with a little frown. And Lucas said, "Nothing, oh, Cherry." Chidera and Simi were boiling like hot oil. And Senator Bello replied to Goma, "No, not at all. We are old men and our wives should be old too. The two ladies are just called our girls." "You mean prostitutes?" Ugoma asked. Lucas started laughing again. This my wife will really do well if she goes into acting. Exactly, the two old men said in union. And Ugoma nodded, making Simi and Chidera turn red in embarrassment. So what about my invitation? Senator Bello asked. And before Ugoma could answer, Lucas cut in. Sorry to disappoint you, sir. My wife isn't going into modeling. She is studying law. Oh, that's lovely. Do enjoy the rest of the party, Mr. and Mrs. Lucas, he said, and they disappeared with their grandchildren. The party ended so well with Mr. Lucas as the happiest man on earth. When the two grandchildren got home, I mean Chidera and Simi, Chidera was fuming in anger, and Simi could not take it any longer. She asked, because no one must stand on her way in getting Lucas, not even Chi baby. Chidera, do you know Lucas Okafor from anywhere? Yes, I know him and I know his wife. Ugoma is my cousin's sister and she stole him from me. This is getting more interesting, Simi thought. So what really happened? Chidera told her the whole story. Simi almost laughed because there was no stealing or snatching anywhere in the story. Chidera said, Simi, you know what? I want her dead. What? Come on now. It hasn't gotten to that, Simi said. Yes, Simi, it has, because she's the only obstacle between me and my Lucas. Simi was about replying her when an idea came into her mind, and she let out an evil smile. The next morning, Nkoli woke up very happy. They watched her son and Ugoma on television last night. She said, Oh, my Ugoma, I never knew my playboy son has a good taste of women. That boy had really made me proud, and I am super excited about it. He has really proven that he is now a man and no longer a boy. But come on, how did Chidera become a wild girl? If she doesn't become successful before coming to this our village again, I am not sure she will survive what we hit her. Oh. So she thinks people in this village don't have television and phones to see what is happening around the globe. She has forgotten that women are like flowers. We are fresh and beautiful in the morning, but at night we shrink and get old. There was a time I, Nkoli, was a baller. But look at me now. Sometimes I wear canvas on my native attire because I have chosen comfort over fashion. Do you go my saw yesterday? Her tummy is still very flat. Oh. If I don't pressure these children, they won't know I need immediate grandchildren. I beg, they should just give me my grandchildren and continue doing their lovey-dovey. She called Ugoma, but her number wasn't going through. So she called Lucas, and after a while, he picked up. Nne, good morning, he greeted. From his voice, it was obvious his mom woke him up, but Nkoli didn't care anything for her grandchildren. She replied, Morning, how are you and my wife doing? She said this trying to look for his trouble as usual. Nne, you have started looking for my trouble again, no? She's my wife and not your wife, Lucas replied. And Nkoli bursted into laughter because he didn't disappoint with his response. Anyway, how are you people doing? We are fine, Nne. You and Papa Nko, he asked. We are fine, and at the same time, not fine. I called you because of the issue at hand. Is Ugoma pregnant? Lucas wasn't expecting this question. He shouted, Ah, Mama. No, she's not. I am not even ready. I have not even enjoyed her one bit. In fact, I have not touched her. It's like you think I am joking, right? Nkoli asks. What is holding you? Or are you not man enough to get her pregnant so I can carry my grandchildren? Eh? Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Lucas exclaimed. Of course I am man enough. Then do something to prove that you are man enough. If you have to keep your legs on the wall, my friend, Do it. Next time I call you, I want to hear good news. She hung up immediately without waiting for Lucas to respond. Gina on her part woke up angry because she saw her sister with an old man and it was aired on television. She said, a graduate for that matter, that should have looked for a decent job to start up her life. She now consoled herself with her cousin and husband. Guys, guess what? Toby replied her message and they have been chatting. Gina introduced herself as Ugoma's cousin. This made Toby to develop interest and they advanced from chatting to video call. Toby loved what he saw and he appreciated God's handiwork. Nena took a firm decision, sent breakup messages to all the lecturers and was determined to take her studies seriously. Their father confessed to them on the role he played in the death of Oluchi, his late sister. They really cried, but they forgave him because he promised he was a changed man, seeing that his life is crumbling right before him. He grabbed his phone, dialed Chidera's number. She woke up by the sound of her phone. She happily picked up because she had really missed Papa, and to say she didn't even tell him before traveling. Hello, Papa. Good morning, sir, she greeted. Chidera, hold your greetings to yourself. So you have decided to bring disgrace to me, eh? Chidera was confused and she asked, Papa, I don't understand. What are you saying? And is anything the matter? So this is how you want to pay me back after struggling to train you in the university, right? Papa, I am still confused. What is it? So you decided to go to the city just to be an ashawo, to the extent that I saw you on TV with an old man, a man older than me, your father. Chidera said within herself, oh my God. I didn't know the occasion was going to be covered on camera. Before Papa could continue more of his blabbings, she ended the call. He called again and she switched off her phone. She said, I think I have to go with Simi's plan. But what exactly is this plan? Lucas on his part was still surprised even after he dropped the call for a while. He said, this my mother is something else. How can she ask me if I'm not man enough to impregnate Ugoma? Of course I want to, but my wife is so fragile. Can she cope with all the palavers that come with pregnancy? Speaking of Ugoma, Lucas woke up and she wasn't on bed. He checked the time. Eh? It is 8 o'clock already. He rushed into the bathroom because he was running late to work. He came out and saw his outfits of the day well ironed and arranged on the bed. He was surprised. This Ugoma is really a godsend. In a minute, he was all dressed, came downstairs and a mouth-watering aroma hit his nose, making his stomach grumble. He walked straight to the kitchen, met his beautiful wife, busy arranging one or two. Good morning, he greeted, wrapping his arms round her waist. Oh, good morning. You are late already, she said with a smile. Come and have your breakfast. Please, let me eat here in the kitchen, Lucas said. All right, eat up fast, she ordered. And within minutes, Lucas was done. But he wasn't going to leave without a goodbye kiss. He got into his car, but the security didn't come out immediately, and this was unlike him. So he honked the horn, and he ran out of his quarters and opened the gate, sweating profusely. Can you guess what he was doing? If you can, let me read it in the comment section, even as we find out in the next episode. I hope you all are enjoying the series. Please like, share and comment. You can please buy me super thanks to support my channel. Until I bring the next episode, it is a goodbye from here and God bless you.